A lot of people say that, Josh, but seldom deliver it in our industry, as we know, and obviously we often hear that from customers as opposed to what businesses say themselves. How do you manage that day to day in your business, and how do you empower people to deploy the consultancy services? Because it's often about the fee, and that's where some of these things can challenge the delivery sometimes, the customers. How do you create that culture in your business?
So I have another phrase, I've got loads of them.
There
is a theme, which is empowered with autonomy.
Yep.
And this is another one of our rules of the game. So the view for me is that when we hire somebody, we hire them because they match our values and they're the right person for our business. We give them all the tools and infrastructure, and we encourage them to delight the customer. And beyond that, we let them do their job. We give them the autonomy to make decisions, to go the extra mile, and we encourage them to actively seek ways to add value. I've worked in big high street recruiters in the past, and some of the metrics which are targeted are very transactionally based.
Yep.
Whereas in my business, we think about things like how do we measure customer satisfaction as opposed to how many candidates we're meeting or clients we're meeting. I'd rather my staff meet one person and add maximum value than meet 20 people and add a small amount of value. And that's evidenced through things like our Google reviews, which you can see the evidence of that online. Internally, we do our monthly goal plans, and we focus those goal plans primarily on how are we creating great experiences for the people that deal with our business.
You mentioned technology before. How important is technology in the market today in your sector, and what role do you think it will play moving forward?
I think from a recruitment perspective, the industry is massively changing, and people are embracing AI. We're doing a big part of the working we're doing with you, Greg, in RE is around how we make sure we're ahead of the market in terms of candidate attraction techniques, making the recruitment process as streamlined as possible for customers. So from a property perspective, obviously the property industry is changing. There's lots of new tech coming into the property industry in all kinds of ways. One of the things that we're kind of engaging with some of our clients on is how they can embrace that. Some of the changes that we're seeing within our existing client portfolio and challenges that's creating. So that's an area where we're kind of doing our best to add value. I think overall as an industry, property faces kind of lots of different challenges, things like market volatility, regulatory changes, access to capital, raising development costs, all these kind of things which technology can assist with. And some of our kind of customers are really embracing that in terms of how they become more streamlined and manage some of the challenges within the industry. The good news is within real estate, we have a great track record in our industry of overcoming market volatility and growth over the long term. Property is the most secure investment pretty much you can make. So we're in a great position from that. But the world is evolving, and part of our job is to make sure that our customers are as best equipped to deal with that through talent as possible, really.
So where we sit today, we've got a really solid foothold in the UK. The business is now how many years in trading?
We started in 2018, so we're 6.5 years.
6.5 years, really solid DNA, really solid culture, some great client relationships, evidenced by the endorsements you've had on Google, and as we said earlier, the case studies, exclusive arrangements you've got. What's next in the UK for you as a business?
The next step in the UK really is to continue on the journey we've been on. The investment from James and working with yourself and Angus has given us a platform to transform the business from a startup 6 years ago into a business which is on the way to become, as I said, a market leader, but a slick corporate entity that not only has the capability to deal with a small firm of chartered surveyors in a regional town, to also multinational corporations and big institutional investors. And we want to be able to service all of those clients and public sector businesses too. So really our ambition now is to scale up the business to a point where we're able to deliver for more people, basically.
And what about international expansion? You've obviously, you're active in the US today. What does that look like in the future? Are there any other countries on the list?
So the interesting thing with the US is obviously the size of the opportunity there. The recruitment market in the US is much less saturated than that in the UK, and it's a bigger market. We have some pretty ambitious plans to expand. More so in the US. Beyond the US, we're targeting countries like Dubai, or the UAE, I should say, and Australia are probably the next two kind of on my hit list. So we've got some big ambitions.
Yeah. And I mean, we are, clearly very excited to be part and on the journey with you. I think you've got a very, very solid footing in terms of who you are as a business, where you sit today. But what does our partnership mean for you, do you think, in terms of taking your business forward? Where would you see the added value to people wanting to join your business, or your clients, or the growth of the business? Because this is beyond, just investment into the business. We're here to join you on a journey and a true partnership. How do you see that benefiting the various different people involved in the growth of your business?
I think the first part of that is that we are now have the backing of probably the most successful recruitment entrepreneur ever, maybe certainly right up there. So what that means is that we've got the platform, and anybody who joins us is joining a business with a great reputation and the platform to seriously expand and grow, as we look forward. So from a career perspective, it's a fantastic time to join us. We've got huge plans and the backing from both a financial perspective, but also from an infrastructure perspective. Where a lot of businesses fall over is when they get to 10, 20 people, it's really hard to scale the business up to 30, 40, 50 because of the additional infrastructure that's required to do that. We're already in a position where we have some of the best infrastructure and best people in the world, of recruitment in our board. Yeah, and yourself included, Greg. You're part of the Joshua Robert board now, so that's a massive coup for us to have someone like you and Angus join the board. So, where does that add value to people who are thinking about joining us? Well, the first part is the career opportunity for growth. You're going to be part of a business which is still entrepreneurial, and has a kind of a small business mentality to at some point. And I don't want to lose that, because I think that's actually really valuable. But on the flip side of that, we're part of a corporate business. We have access to opportunities that smaller businesses would not get to because of that. So we have a very happy hybrid mix of the two, really. From a learning and development perspective, joining Joshua Robert and being part of the RE portfolio means you're working with some of the top performers in recruitment across the board. There's massive bags of opportunity to work with top billers and top performers and have exposure to the likes of yourself, Angus, James, Sam in marketing, etc. The array of massively talented people, across RE is super exciting from a development perspective for anyone who joins us.
And I think the interesting thing is we're here to help. Whatever the component parts are, be it the back office in finance, the front end in marketing, or the operational side. There's a lot of knowledge and know-how in our portfolio that is there to help you. We're on a journey together, and I think that is a real added value, as you say, to keep the entrepreneurial spirit, the small business mentality that you have, but an enterprise level infrastructure must be reassuring moving forward.
Absolutely. And I think what it's done is enabled us to be even more entrepreneurial in the way, with almost the safety net of great infrastructure and great expertise behind us. It's kind of almost taken the shackles off. Some small businesses have a lot of shackles, and I've experienced that being a solo entrepreneur. The shackles are off now, really, for us. It's okay. Where do we expand next? What's the next opportunity? And we're thinking very, very much in terms of what's possible, as opposed to in a lot of small recruitment businesses and any business, worrying about things like compliance or HMRC or whatever it might be. So it's very exciting.